Okay, so I'm sitting here and wondering, going through my feed, and I see this. I'm like, oh my goodness, white blessing. I'm like, what is this? I never heard of a white blessing. It feel like I heard that on some cartoon. Maybe, was it Boondocks? I don't know. Y'all tell me in the comments. I'm not sure. But I was surprised and I was shocked. And then I saw a whole bunch of backlash on Lecrae. Just sitting there shaking his head. I'm like, man, what's really going on? Psh, let's take a dive and see. Man, welcome back, Daily Thinkers, man. Yes, we all know what happened. If you was on Instagram, Twitter, wherever you was on your social site today, you saw what happened with Louie Giglio and Lecrae, and also the CEO of Chick-fil-A. They all had a sit-down conversation. I'm glad that they're having this conversation. I'm glad that people are having conversation about racism. It's good. I mean, especially in the church, because, you know, a lot of people shy away from that. And so now people are being more bold in this movement, and I freaking love it. I ain't got no problem with it at all. I love it. I freaking love it. I ain't got no problem with it. But seeing this clip, it's crazy. Let's take a look. Let's take a listen. First of all, I got to put on these fat headphones so I can really take a listen. Like, these headphones will make your ears sweat, dog. Like, but I got to put them on anyway. Just for y'all. Let's take a look at what they said.
Wow, before we took action, it was several days of prayer and fasting and hurting. And I think before we try to jump into action, I would say that we need a period of contrition and a broken heart in the city of Atlanta, and a sense of real identity, not just criticizing people that are burning down that restaurant last night. We've got a heart for the Rayshon Brooks and the others that you've mentioned. We've got to have a sense of empathy of what led to this. This is a tip of the iceberg of incredible amounts of frustration and pain that the whole spectrum of the African American community, in some way or another, can quickly illustrate, Lecrae, just as you did, that most of us white people are just simply out of sight, out of mind. We're oblivious to it. And we cannot let this moment pass.
Yeah, you know, Lecrae, it's interesting because I feel like on the inside of the church, we're fighting this historical context you talk about. In other words, we love the blessing of the cross, but we don't love to sit in it and realize this is what God's asking me to do, to die to myself and to live for him, whatever context that's going to look like for me. But I want to flip that upside down because I think the other side of it is true.
Oh, here we go, flipping stuff upside down. That's where we make mistakes. We try to flip stuff. I just want to say that. Funny.
With our nation's history, we understand the curse that was slavery. White people do. And we say that was bad, but we miss the blessing of slavery.
We missed the blessing of slavery. That would throw people off. I feel like I can even see it in Lecrae, like shaking his head like, all right, dog, you going too far. I really don't want to say nothing right now. My goodness, you should have picked a different word than blessing. Because blessing is something that's divine and good. And I don't see nothing divine and good about slavery. So if you think something is good about slavery, I don't know. People working for free, getting beaten, getting tortured, getting murdered. I don't see nothing fun about that. I don't see no cotton candy, whatever you want to say. I don't see it. Nope. Don't nobody see it. And everybody tired of this. Okay, we tired. Everybody's tired.
That it actually built up the framework for the world that white people live in.
Yeah. It definitely built up the framework that white people live in. This whole clip isn't just messed up like from the start. He has some valid points. This helped people like him. It helped white America. It built the framework. And when something is built upon, a country is built upon racism and hate and violence, we're going to continue to see that happen. And so, yep, they benefited from it. And he said it. And I'm glad that he said that because a lot of people are just oblivious to this thing. Like they act like nothing is going on. But I'm glad that he addressed it. He addressed this That was real smart of him. But white blessing, not smart, dog.
And lived in. And so a lot of people call this white privilege. And when you say those two words, it just is like a fuse goes off for a lot of white people because they don't want.
What's wrong with a fuse going off? I think a fuse should go off, man. People need to understand the privilege that other people have in America. Let's just make it just point blank, period. You have the privilege. You had a better opportunity, a better starting point, as he just said. And so that is privilege. That's not blessing. It's a difference between blessing and privilege. People, we know that. We know as believers, we know there's a difference between blessing and privilege. We don't say, Lord, privilege me with this opportunity. No, Lord, bless me with this opportunity because you are good. And I hope this good opportunity come by me and by my side because your nature is good. Your nature is good. God's nature is not privilege. His nature is good, holy, righteous, and just. And that's how we know who God is. Definitely the God of the Bible, Yahweh, the God of Israel. That's how we really, really know. And I know Louie Giglio knows. I know he definitely knows, but just messing his words up, I feel like.
Somebody telling them to check their privilege. And so I know that you and I both have struggled in these days with, hey, if the phrase is the trip up, let's get over the phrase and let's get down to the heart.
Sure.
Let's get down to.
Okay, he said the phrase is the trip up. So he's trying to think, okay, what can I tell my white counterparts? Something that will help them listen. That's the vibe I'm getting right now. Like, what can I tell my white counterparts? How can I change this from privilege to a different word that will help them to listen to what's really going on in America? I think maybe that's what he was trying to get at. Maybe so. Who knows? I think that's just my opinion. And you can tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but that's the sense I'm getting. Like, he said, okay, it triggers people. When I try to talk to my friends, it triggers them. They don't want to hear nothing no more. So maybe I should change privilege to blessing or something else. Who knows? But you cannot change definitions. Like, let's just keep the same definition. And people don't want to accept that definition. That's just them. That's just the way it needs to be.
What then do you want to call it? And I think maybe a great thing for me is to call it white blessing, that I'm living in the blessing of.
Did y'all see Lecrae laugh? Like, that's one of them laugh like, like you messed up laugh. And so I saw this. I don't know why people just bashing Lecrae like he ain't got to go choke him out on stage. Y'all calm down. He don't. He addressed him. He called him afterwards. He let him know what was going on. And so what do people... Man, all black people just can't be full of rage and just ready to attack somebody every time somebody misspeak. And that's just my opinion.
Curse that happened generationally that allowed me to grow up in Atlanta. And, you know, you're talking about being 57. If you were 57, I can't imagine being that old, Dan, and being 57. But I've said to our church, Lecrae, a few weeks ago, when I was born, the day I was born on Boulevard at Georgia Baptist Hospital in 1958, black people did not have equal rights in this city. Not my grandparents' lifetime or their lifetime, in my lifetime. This is right now what we're talking about today.
And that's true. That's true. Still right now, the same issues are still going on. So I'm glad that he addressed that. I just feel like this whole video can get blowed up to something else that we don't really need to happen in this country. Like, we need to stop this division. It's good to call people out when they misspeak and all that, but let's be sure when you misspeak, be ready for somebody to call you out too. That's just my opinion. But he definitely misspoke, and he definitely said the wrong thing. And what he said was wrong. White blessing there's no such thing as a white blessing, sir. Blessings don't come in colors. I'm not sure. Somebody let me know. Huh? Colors anywhere? Man, them take these headphones off. I told y'all they make people sweat in the ear. These headphones too big. But yeah, that's just my opinion, man. Y'all tell us what you think in the comment section below. And if you like this channel, man, hit that like button and subscribe. Just do us a favor, man. Do your homeboy a favor, you know? Just help a brother out. And so Louie Giglio, he did say an apology, so that's cool. That's great. He just misspoke, y'all. He just misspoke. I think he had some good intentions, And those intentions just got messed up because he used the word blessing. If he would have used a different word, white dominance or something, I don't know, that probably would have been worse. I don't know what word. If he would have just stuck with privilege, this whole clip would have been fine because everything else he said in this clip was 100% true.